Hey guys, it's Nikki. Welcome back to another song review. Today we're going to be listening to Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. It was tied in last week's poll with The Cars Moving in Stereo, which I just recorded a video for. So hopefully you see both of these today. If you're seeing one without the other, it means that one was blocked and it will be up soon, unless both of these are blocked. And that's going to be a problem. But yes, this video is for Once in a Lifetime. So let's pop our headphones on, turn it up, and here we go. He looks like Bill Nye the Science Guy.
And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. And you may find yourself in another part of the world. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. And you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime.
I know this.
Water flowing underground. And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself,
I didn't know this
where
part.
is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house. And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by,
This part I've heard before.
into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was. 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 Same as it ever was.
He's a
The days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime.
strange video.
You may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself, where does that highway go to? And you may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, my God, what have I done? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by,
Huh.
flowing underground into the blue again, into the silent water, under the rocks and stones. There is water underground. Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the
I'm gonna have to research this one a little.
flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime, water flowing underground. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Hey, look where my hand was. Time isn't holding up. Time isn't after us. Same as it ever was. 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 Once in a lifetime.
So, is it just about time passing you by? And maybe being in a bit of a panic because of it, from what I get from the video? I really don't know. I did kind of know that song. I didn't really remember the verses or really pay attention probably ever to what he was saying, but I did know the chorus. I've definitely heard that before. I don't know where, but I've heard it before. So on songfacts.com, it says the song deals with the futility of not being happy with the things you have. Like trying to remove the water at the bottom of the ocean, there's no way to stop life from moving on. That's what I said. The forces of nature, like the ocean, keep you moving almost without your conscious effort, like a ventriloquist moving a puppet. Head David Byrne shed some light on his lyrical inspiration when he told Time Out, "Most of the words in Once in a Lifetime come from evangelists I recorded off the radio while taking notes and picking up phrases I thought were interesting directions. Maybe I'm fascinated with the middle class because it seems so different from my life, so distant from what I do. I can't imagine living like that." Some of these evangelist recordings also made their way to a 1981 album called My Life in the Bush of Ghosts by David Byrne and Brian Eno. David Byrne's, I hope I'm saying that right. Let me know if I'm not. Choreography in the video was done by the Tony Basil, who had a hit as a singer with Mickey. I know that one. It was a very odd video, and for many viewers, it was the first look they got at the Talking Heads, or at least Byrne. The full band didn't appear in a video until Burning Down the House 2 years later. And that one I feel like I might know the chorus of too, but I don't really know it that well. So I would check that one out if you want me to. So Tony Basil talked about the video and said that he wanted to research movement, but he wanted to research movement more as an actor, as does David Bowie and Mick Jagger. They come to movement in another way, not as a trained dancer, or not really interested in dance steps. He wanted to research people in trances, different trances in church, and different trances with snakes. So he went over to UCLA and USC, and we viewed a lot of footage of documentaries on that subject. And then he took the ideas and he physicalized the ideas from these documentary style films. Basil adds, when I was making videos, whether it was with Devo, is that right? David or whoever, there wasn't record companies breathing down anybody's neck telling them what to do, what the video should look like. There was no paranoid A&R guy, no crazy dresser that would come in and decide what people should be wearing and put them in shoes that they can't walk in. Everybody with their own agenda. We were all on our own, which is kind of nice. And I never thought that artists could have that much control over their videos. Everything that I've seen, that when I watched like behind the scenes music videos stuff like on MTV before, it was always there was a person that kind of had a vision. Maybe the artist got involved a little bit or was like, can we do this instead of that? But I feel like it wasn't like full control like they're talking about. It said that David had said about the song, we're largely unconscious. We operate half awake or on autopilot and end up whatever in a house and family and job and everything else. And we haven't really stopped to ask ourselves, how did I get here? That's true. I mean, I feel like everybody can probably reflect on that. I say that all the time to my husband. I'm like, even what we did like 10 years ago or 5 years ago sometimes feels like a lifetime ago. And you look at life now and it's different. And it's like, how did it get to this when before it felt different, it looked different, I feel like you go through a lot of phases and changes that you don't even realize are happening. And sometimes that freaks me out and I try not to think about it, or I would be sweating and shaking and panicking like he was in the video. But it makes sense. So let me know what you guys think of this. Did you know the meaning behind the song or the meaning behind the video and kind of the moves that he put into it? And tell me what else I should check out by Talking Heads. Like I said, Burning Down the House, kind of can hear a little bit of that in my head, but I don't really know if I know it for sure. So we could check it out together. I can watch the video. Just let me know. Let me know what I should put in tomorrow's poll too. Hopefully you see this. I was thinking of doing another similar poll, similar theme. It seemed like a lot of people left suggestions for that last week, so I would pull from there. I would pull from this video, moving in stereo, whatever you guys leave me on there. I'll go through them and maybe we'll do another similar theme poll this week. That sounds good to me. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching along with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.